Hi, Bear Cubs. Today I'm going to read you a story about Good Job Bear. It's about a bear who goes camping with some of his friends. Because this week we are talking about camping. Hope you enjoy it. Good Job Bear. The day that Miss Cluck was taking the class camping, everyone was very excited when Miss Cluck said that it was almost time to set off. All the animals squealed with delight. Letitia the rabbit carried her butterfly net. Maxwell the mole clutched his teddy, and the little mice each had a basket. Fergus the fox cub was given the map, and Boris was put in charge of absolutely everything else, for Boris was an enormous, hairy, scary grizzly bear, but he was also rather kind and helpful. "Bravo," said Miss Cluck, as Boris heaved the huge bag on his back. "What would we do without you?" Miss Cluck and her class set off through the woods. Letitia chased after butterflies, Fergus puzzled over the map, and the mice struggled with their baskets. Maxwell got his teddy stuck up in the tree. Eventually, Boris caught up with them all. Poor Miss Cluck blew her whistle. "This really won't do," she said. "We must stay together." Then Boris had an idea. He found room for everything in his bag, even the tired mice. "Bravo, Boris," cheered his friends. Before long, they came to a little bridge. Boris and Letitia dropped twigs into the stream. "Come on, Boris." Then everyone rushed to the other side of the bridge to see whose would come out first. But somehow Boris forgot about the bag on his back. Somehow Maxwell's teddy went splash into the water. Somehow the mice managed to cling on. Maxwell let out an enormous wail. "Oh, Boris," he cried. Poor Boris felt so clumsy and ashamed. Miss Cluck carefully leaned over the bridge with Letitia's butterfly net, but it was no good. Teddy was floating away. Boris decided it was time to be very brave. He leapt into the water. Splash! All the way up to his hairy knees. "Hurry, Boris!" Boris scooped Teddy safely out of the water. Now there were two dripping wet bears. "Teddy!" And Maxwell hugged them both. "Boris is the biggest and bravest, best bear," said Maxwell. "Bravo, Boris," agreed Mrs. Cluck. "Now let's set up camp before there are any more accidents." The animals gathered around while Miss Cluck explained how to build a teepee. It all sounded very easy. Letitia and Maxwell collected long sticks. The mice chewed off some lengths of rope. Boris helped Fergus spread out the canvas. Then they all tried to put it together. But it was not easy, not at all easy. Once the teepee was up, the fun really began. Miss Cluck got out a new box of chalks and let everyone draw on the teepee. It looked wonderful. Boris put Maxwell's teddy on top to dry. And off they went to pick some berries for supper. Miss Cluck showed them which ones were good to eat. Boris carried the full baskets while the other animals hurried excitedly back to camp. But they were in for a shock. For their wonderful teepee wasn't quite so wonderful anymore. Someone has drawn on Mrs. Cluck's face. Someone has pulled down all the sticks. And someone was going to be in big trouble. Miss Cluck was very, very angry indeed. She marched straight up to the bulging canvas, reached underneath, and pulled out. What did she pull out? Two very naughty little wolf cubs. The cubs wiggled and struggled. "Do your parents know you're out in the woods alone?" asked Miss Cluck in her firmest voice. "We don't care," yelled the cubs rudely. "Our daddy is a big bad wolf." "He's much bigger than you," said the other, even more rudely, "and he eats chickens for supper," boomed Boris with a great big berry-stained grin. "Yikes, it's a grizzly bear! Help, it's a hungry bear! Phew, it's Boris." The naughty little wolf cubs turned on their heels and fled. Boris was most confused. "Oh, Boris, what a brave bear you are," smiled Miss Cluck. "Now let's put the teepee back together. Bravo for hairy, scary Boris." That evening, Boris and his friends ate supper and toasted marshmallows and berries until the sun went down. Then Miss Cluck got out her guitar and they sang songs under the stars. Boris felt his eyelids grow heavy. It was tiring being a big, brave bear. "I think I might go to bed now," he yawned. "Sleep tight. Good night, Boris. Night-night." Boris snuggled down happily inside the teepee and was soon snoring. A little later, Fergus, then Letitia, Maxwell with Teddy, the mice, and Miss Cluck crept into the teepee. There wasn't much room, but nobody minded a bit. After all, everyone had a nice, soft place to sleep. Even Miss Cluck. "Bravo, Boris," she whispered as she fell asleep. The end. I hope you boys and girls enjoyed the story. Have a good day.